Hi everybody, this is Jimmy Shaw. Thank you for clicking on my video today. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below for any other tips, drills, or any other type parts of the game that you want me to cover. If you want me to help you with your game, you can find me at these two locations, and the links are in the description. Again, thank you, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hi, this is Jimmy Shaw, and if you're like any other golfer out there, you want to hit the ball further. I know you may say that, yeah, I'd love to gain about 10, 15 yards, but I don't want to be looking for the ball everywhere. I don't want to hurt. I want to be consistent with it. I don't want to change my iron game that's strong or my wedge game. Well, you know what? This series is for you. I want you to gain distance, but I want you to still be in control, be consistent, and not hurt yourself. So in this series, we're going to go over the components and the techniques that you'll need to hit it further, but also be in more control. So what do we need to hit it further? We need torque, we need power, and then we need speed. So we're going to work on that in a very controlled, patient manner. It's not going to come overnight, so we're not going to try to do this overnight. We're going to go through a step-by-step process. So the first thing we have to do is we got to create torque. We got to create rotational energy, and we got to store it somewhere into our trail side. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to start with our setup. First, let's do traditional. Let's just make this easy for everybody. What we're going to do as our baseline is we're going to have a shallow attack angle, which is positive. We're going to try to create a launch angle in the 14 to 18 degree area, and we're going to try to produce spin that's right around, in the 1900s to 26.7, depending on your 100 ball spin rate, depending on your swing speed. Let's first start with the setup. We're going to first start with the ground and how wide our feet are. If you're a boxier build like I am, you can get a little bit wider, okay? If you're more of a kind of a build that's a little bit more A-line, then you don't need to get as wide, because then we're going to get too wide and we're not going to be able to turn through the ball. So because I'm a little bit boxier, I'm going to get a little bit wider. We're going to put the ball, we're going to go traditional, put it even with the inside of our lead heel, square with the lead hand. Now, the one thing to remember is that we want to maintain squareness. So when we put the ball forward like that, it's very easy to then reach with our trail hand. That's going to open us up. So make sure that when you are setting up that you're square. We still want to maintain squareness. Okay? Here we go. I'm square. Now, as you can see, I've created a tilt in my spine away from the target. This is how we want to get to the ball to launch it up in the air. We're going to get to the through swing in a later video, but if we can set ourselves up, now we're set up to have kind of a more shallow attack, positive hitting up on it. Okay, so there's one. Now we've got the setup. Now, how are we going to store this energy? I've got this stick here to kind of represent where my hip is. I want to turn and coil and pivot. So this is also where we're going to introduce ground force, and ground force is going to come into play a major role when we get into the through swing and creating power. But we're going to start with creating ground force in our trail leg as we go back, so that we're going to pivot on this trail leg. So now we're going to get rotation and we're going to get force coming up. So that rotation going back and that force coming up as we get turned into our trail side is going to store a lot of torque, a lot of stored up rotational energy back in this trail core. And I call the core ribs to knees, trail side, lead side, front and back. So I coil up, I push down as I turn, and as I push down as I turn, coil on top, I get some nice width, I get my spine behind the ball, really good turn, and I've got a lot of stored up energy. That energy is then going to be transferred into the lead side in our transition. But we have to create energy going back to help create more power, which then, if we get the sequencing right, will produce a lot of speed. So this week, really work on the turn. We're going to get our setup. Make sure your setup is good. Nice and square, ball, good width with the feet. If you want to turn out the left heel, the lead heel, not a bad idea, as this will allow you to kind of turn and not blow out your lead knee coming through, and it'll really help us kind of aid in getting our hips open coming through. Get set up, make sure I got a little bit of tilt, and then work on that backswing so that we make sure and get a good load into that trail hip. Really feel that. I got some drills that you can get, that you can view. They're below here. If you want to learn how to really load the hip better, watch those videos, learn how to do that, work on that this week. Really work on getting some stored up energy in this back trail hip that we're then going to transfer into that lead foot. So week 1, good setup, creating a lot of torque.